Okay, so we're back in business. The rear suspension is assembled, the differential is in place. The only thing is I haven't installed the exhaust yet. And the reason I haven't done that yet is because there was an exhaust leak from under there. I don't know how good you can see. Yeah, so here I had to make an adapter between the header, that's the header in the front from the MK3, and that's the stainless exhaust from the MK2. So I had to make this small adapter there, but as you can see it's leaking badly. So I want to deal with that before I install the exhaust. I'm gonna take this adapter out and I'm gonna modify it a little bit. Actually, I bought some parts and I'm gonna just make a new one. So this is the adapter that I made. It's a little bit redneck. Believe it or not, that was a wider pipe and I cut it and I welded it. And I had to grind inside. Well, it was Sunday night and everything was closed, so I couldn't go and buy something that I needed, so I wanted to drive the car, you know, I couldn't wait. So anyways, what I think I'm gonna do now is I bought this part and I bought this part, and to be honest I bought them 2 weeks ago and I don't remember what was my idea. One 650 and one 615 in this direction, so it's 1.6 something. Okay. So 1.620 something is 1 5/8, and here this is 1.5 internal diameter. Because this fits perfectly around the header inside. This is 1 5/8 inside, and this is 1.5. So my idea was to put this on the header on top, and here to have this, even though this is designed to be the other way around, but I'm gonna make notches so I can clamp it. I'm gonna cut it somewhere here and I'm gonna weld this piece to that. Okay, so let me see how does this thing work. Am I doing anything? How long is this gonna take? Wow, that's unbelievable. Ooh. Great. I like that too, even though it cut it on an angle. Huh. Well, so I'm gonna shorten this one too. Wow. They're both on an angle, so now they match perfectly. Okay, let me go weld them. Okay, so they are welded together, and I painted them with ceramic exhaust paint. And now let's see if my idea is gonna work. Now let me show you what was the issue with the rear left bearing, where I thought it was a hub bearing, then I thought it was the differential. Well, actually, Chef Tash pointed in the right direction. He told me to check the splines on the hub and on the wheel, and I did, and look at that. I hope you can see that well. Half of the splines are gone. You see, I only have splines at the top, but not at the bottom. Let me take picture of that so you can see it better. I don't have issues with the hub, I don't have issues with the differential. I have issues with the splines on the wheel. The hub adapter is in a pretty much good shape. So I just put the spare tire and now I'm gonna test the car, but I believe that was my issue. It's a good thing I took the differential out anyway, so I could change the seals because it was leaking a lot. And now I hope that was solved too. So let me go test the car and I hope the results are gonna be good. Unfortunately, that was too good to be true. As it turned out later, the bearing noise was still there, so I still had to deal with that. But also this was a big problem, the splines on the wheel, because a couple of days later, maybe a week later, I was driving in traffic and somebody stopped suddenly in front of me. I had to hit the brake hard and the two front hubs on the wire wheels just made noise, and I barely stopped. I almost hit the guy in front of me, and that was the end of my wire wheels. And then I decided I had to get rid of them because they were just not safe. So I guess we have a right to go home tonight. Yay! So here again, Chef Tash saved the situation. He found those mini lights for me, and he even drove about 200 kilometers to go and pick them up for me, so thanks so much, Dave. So yeah, I liked my wires, but unfortunately I had to change them for those a little bit more modern wheels, and they bring the car into a different era, which I don't like. I like the wheels, but I don't like the fact that they are pulling the car into the 70s and even 80s style. I kind of liked it into the 60s era. I also tried to clean up and polish the bumpers, and I installed them even though they weren't in very good shape, especially the front one. But so many guys asked about those bumpers, so I decided to install them, and I have to admit, yes, you were right, guys. I think that the car looks much better with bumpers. But now, a couple of months later, I have a much better looking front bumper, which I haven't installed yet, and that's thanks to Mitch Fuel. He's a fellow YouTuber. He generously donated this bumper to me, and I'm gonna show you all that in a separate video, how I got it and how I'm gonna install it, because I haven't installed it yet. But thank you so much, Mitch, and thanks so much to your son, because I know that this bumper came from his car. So thanks, guys, and let's see what else is going on with my Spitfire. What? Again? Oh, not again. What's wrong with it now? Oh yeah, I remember. We had a fight with this hub and she won, but now we're gonna have a round two, because I don't like losing, you know. So what's the story here? If you remember from the last round, I couldn't remove the hub here. I built some homemade hub puller, but it didn't work very well for me. It kept cracking here and there every time I pulled. Yeah, it obviously needs to be something very strong, something like this. That's my old hub adapter for the wired wheels, but that's actually the one that has really bad splines, the one that almost got me into an accident. So now I'm gonna modify it and I'm gonna build a hub puller. Almost straight. Okay, now the nut is too small for here, so I need to make some kind of a plate with a hole in it for the boat. And for this plate, I think I'm gonna use this. Okay, now I have to drill a hole here. Never mind. Just did it with my finger. Not big enough though, because that's my biggest finger. Didn't have a bigger finger than that. So I'm gonna have to widen it a little bit with my file. My X file. That was fast. Okay, so this time what I'm planning to do is not to do this, because when I pull, once I'm going to be pulling the nut off the plate, and second I'm going to be pulling the plate off the hub. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to weld the nut to this plate and then I'm going to drop it inside, and this way when I pull the nut I'm going to be pushing on the plate, not going to be pulling out of it. And the only risky part is going to be here, this weld, but I'm going to try to weld it really well this time. So here the weld doesn't need to be extremely strong, so I'm going to just do a couple of tacks. Now the important part, and I will be extremely lucky if I am able to weld it inside too. Let's see. Actually, you know what? That's gonna work. Hopefully. I will be able to weld it inside, then trim this and weld it outside. Let's see. Okay. Nothing. Welding from too far away. Welding it inside won't work, but here this should work well. So I'm gonna tack it and then I'm gonna trim it. Oh, it's hot. Oh. Now we'll see how good is my welding. Whoops! Okay, so let's see how is this gonna work here. First we have to loosen this nut, but not remove it completely, because if we remove it completely we're risking, if the hub releases, to go flying all over the place. So That's why this nut needs to be loosened but not completely out, so if the hub comes out, it's gonna hit the nut and it's gonna stop, supposedly. That's what we're hoping for. Now we can put the hub and hold it with the nuts. Okay. So this boat, the head was much bigger size, I don't know what size, so I took this one out of the other hub puller that I made before, and this one I ground down to size 30 mil. And this is the moment of truth. My gun is not strong enough. Okay, this is a shitty gun. And I don't have another one. Ah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it manually. But how am I gonna lock the wheel? Okay, we'll figure out something. Okay, so I found a way to lock it here, and I'm gonna use this crash bar to see. Ah, that was it? Yeah! Yes, yes, yes. Ah! Okay. Needed so little after the impact gun. Just a little bit more. So now I have a hub puller. Tiriran, tiriran. Huh, you giving me trouble for so long. Homemade hub puller works.